Now, let's take a look at this question over here, all right? I really like this question because we'll be constructing equation and we'll be using our knowledge of algebra to solve this. So let's take a look over here. Now, over here, I would like, what information do I have over here? All right, I can see that, all right, so there's a certain value over here that is increased by 60%, all right, there's a 60% increase over here, and then it follows by an unknown amount of percentage of decrease. But when I have these two multiplied together, they will give me a multiplier of 0.88. So my question here is to find this unknown. So how do I do that? All right, how do I do that? Okay, so try to think back. All right, the question over here gave you a multiplier which is 0.88. Now ask yourself, based on the previous lesson that I gave you, how do you calculate multiplier? All right, now multiplier, right, for the multiplier we have two ways to calculate it. Is remember, there is the addition one and the subtraction one. So you have to decide based on the question here. Okay, so this one, this is 60% increase. So if I want to change this to a multiplier, what do I do? So I'm going to use the multiplier formula, which is going to be 100. Since it's increased by 60, so I'm going to plus 60 over 100. Right? Okay? And then what about this multiplier? How do I convert this percentage to a multiplier? All right? So I'm going to write this as 100. Since I do not know what's the percentage here, all right? So that will be my unknown, but I know the percentage is reducing. So I'm going to subtract the unknown right now, all right? Subtract x, okay, and over 100. Okay, and the last part over here, the multiplier, it's 0.88. So I know that if I have this multiplied with this, that will give me 0.88. Now this is a very important crucial step for you to start, because if you can construct the formula, you are technically done already. All you need to do next is just to use your knowledge in algebra to find what is the value of x. Now let's do this together, okay? Now over here, take a look at the first bracket over here. We can simplify this, right? 100 plus 60 divided by 100, that will be 1.6, right? Over here, I can't do anything yet, right? I can't do anything yet. So I'm just gonna leave this alone. So I'm just gonna copy it back down. This is going to be multiplying by 100 minus x over 100. And since I'm not doing anything with this yet, this is just going to be 0.88, right? Now, again, my unknown is over here, so I can't touch this first. So I'm going to move all the numbers to one side and leave the unknown over here. So since there's an unknown over here, I can't touch this, but I can move this away. Since this operation is a multiplication, so I will take 1 over 6 and move it over, so it will become a division, right? So since I'm not doing anything with this, I'm just going to write it down. 100 minus x over 100. And I will have my 0.88. Since I have moved this across, it's a multiplication operation. So right now, it will become a division operation. Okay? So let's solve this very quickly. 0.88 divided by 1.6. That will give you 0.55. All right? Now, again, don't forget this one. I'm not doing anything yet. Let's just write it down. 100 minus x over 100. Okay, now what can we do right now? So always when you have a fraction, all right, this is a fraction, always when you have a fraction, we want to remove the denominator first. So in this case, it's 100. This 100 has to be removed. So we can bring this 100 to the other side. So since this is a division operation, when I move this 100 over here, it will become a multiplication operation. So I'm going to rewrite this. The numerator, I'm not doing anything with the numerator yet. The numerator is on top. So I'm just going to write this down. All right. I'm not doing anything with this yet. So it's going to be 0.55. And this 100, I move it over. So it's going to be multiplied by 100. Okay? Right, let's continue over here. So I will have my 100 minus x, that will be equal to 0.55 times 100. I will get my 55. Right? Now over here, what can we do to proceed to the last step? Now again, I'm interested to find my unknown. But do you notice or not that your unknown over here is negative right now? So when we want to find our unknown, we would like our unknown to always be positive. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this negative x over here. I'm going to move it across. So it become positive. So it's going to look something like this. So I'm not doing anything with this 100. So 100 will stay back. Okay. I'm not doing anything with this 55 first. So this 55 is going to be here. And this minus x, when I move over, it's going to be plus. Oops. It's going to be plus x, right? So now my unknown is positive. I'm going to move the numbers to one side. So in this case, I'm going to move the 55 back here. So it's going to be 100 minus with 55 is equals to x. So we can solve this by subtracting it. So in the end, we will get 45x. All right. So right now, what we have done over here, we have find out the unknown over here, which is 45%. Now, it is always a good habit to check if your answer is correct. So you can check this, all right? You can quickly check this. Does this multiplier multiply by this multiplier, does it equals to this? This is a very good habit when you're doing your algebra, all right? So we know that this multiplier is 1.6, and this multiplier over here, it's going to be 0.55, all right? If you take 100, subtract by 45, divide by 100, it's going to be 0.55. So we can quickly check 1.6 multiply by 0.55, and true enough, we get 0.88. So indeed, this answer is correct. Okay? But over here, if you take a look at my working step over here, it seems very long, correct? Because I'm actually showing you step by step what's happening. But of course, in your real exam, all right, are you required to show all this? Now, of course, when you are practicing, I will strongly suggest you do step by step so you are familiarized when the number moves, all right, what's happened to them. But when you are so used to all these things already, you can actually solve this in few steps. You don't have to write everything, but I will show you how I write if I was a student doing this. So based on the question, I know that this multiplier multiplied by this multiplier will give me this. So I will rewrite my question like this. I know that if I were to change this to a multiplier, 60% to a multiplier, it's going to be 1.6. All right, I can do this in my head mentally. And this one, I can't change to multiply because I have an unknown over there. So I'm going to multiply this by 100 minus x over 100. And multiply these two multipliers together will give me 0.88. All right, so the next thing I will do is, I know that I have to bring this over, and 0.88 will be dividing with 1.6. So I can do that directly with my calculator. So I can write this down, 100 minus x over 100 will give me 0.55. All right, I can just divide this directly and just show the answer immediately, all right, without showing this lah. Then after that, what do I do over here? I'm going to bring this 100 up. And this 0.55 is going to be multiplied by this 100. So I can rewrite this as 55, right? Okay, and the final step over here, I want to make my unknown positive. And this number will go behind. They will swap places, all right? These two will be swapping places. So in the end, I will be writing 100 minus by 55 is equals to x. So x will be equals to 45. Right? Now take a look at my step over here and over here. Suddenly it seems much more shorter, right? Okay, so this is what I expect you all will be able to do once you all get used to algebra, like moving numbers and calculate and so forth and so on. Okay, but if you're unsure, I will strongly suggest you to practice with this long method first so that you grasp a strong understanding what happened when you move a number from one place to another. Okay?